By the way, but let me just take a little moment here before we go on to the next question and urge you, as the course is nearing its end, to take a look at and maybe try out the voluntary, the project of creating your own online exhibit. Create your own exhibit using materials that we have put up there. This is a very good little exercise. It's a different way of studying and presenting history, doing it through visual images, through documents. And I think you'll find it interesting and challenging. And it's not graded or anything, but I think others will see what you do. And I think, I myself have curated a number of museum exhibitions in the past, in Chicago, in Virginia, other places, here in New York. And I always find it an interesting experience. It's very different from writing a book, conveying meaning, historical meaning, visually through artifacts, through images, through documents, is a whole different experience. And I learned a lot about using those material and how to present history to a broad audience. So I commend you. I commend this project to you, and see if you find it interesting to do. It's not all that time consuming, but I think you'll find it challenging. Are there some examples that stand out for you, of primary sources that influence your read? Well, it's funny. I think I talked about this a little. My research on Reconstruction really blossomed when I was a visiting professor long ago at the University of South Carolina, and spent a lot of time going through the state archives there, which had an enormous amount of material from Reconstruction. And the sources that really jumped out at me were these letters by ordinary people in Reconstruction. These were the governor's papers, letters written to the governor of the state by blacks, by whites, by former slaves, former slave owners, Klan victims, Klansmen, preachers, you name it, about what's going on the grassroots level, what their hopes are, what their fears are. And I think that gave me a sense of Reconstruction as the local ferment going on. This is not just a story you can tell from Washington, from Congress and the president, or even from the governor's mansion. You want to know what's going on in Reconstruction, you got to look at the grassroots, where there's all this ferment, which is not surprising. The transition from slavery to freedom is a very complicated thing. And it unleashed a tremendous amount of controversy and struggle about what was going to take the place of slavery. And so it was really those documents I saw, which had never been looked at by anybody. No one ever looked at those. And it just really changed my thinking about how to think about Reconstruction. Then there's